Welcome to Spaces Organized and Styled, the podcast. My name is Caitlin Atkins, and I am an organization expert and life coach. I am the professional organizer to help you get those goals achieved and work through any life challenges that come up along the way. If you're wanting to declutter your home, your office, your schedule, or your life, then you have found the right place for you. In this podcast, I will share with you the tips, the tricks, and the processes to help you get organized, stay organized, and share some life wisdom along the way. Now let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Spaces Organized and Styled, the podcast. My name is Caitlin, and I am going to be explaining to everyone today, where does the pricing and structure come from for a professional organizer? How does a professional organizer charge for their services? How do they charge and come up with the figures for an hourly packet or an hourly rate or a package rate? Where does that all come from? I am going to be explaining all of that to you today. I do want to say, though, ahead of this episode that if you are a professional, somebody who's a professional organizer or looking to get into the industry, if you are curious about how you should price your packages, your hourly rate, how you should price out your services to your clients, I will say that I do a deep dive in this topic in my course, How to Become a Professional Organizer. So if you really want to know what price you should be setting for your services and your business, go ahead and check out the course. It's actually going to be a lot more robust than this episode. It's going to give a lot more detail on where you should find your pricing model and your structure and what's going to fit best for you as well as your client. Okay, so that being said and getting out of the way, I wanted to start by how a professional organizer charges for their services and their product or the hour package rate. It really varies. And if you were to get onto Google and type into Google, how much does a professional organizer charge? You're going to see that there is a big range between what a professional organizer could charge. This is something that I've actually seen as well as I'm, Googling different things for the industry. There's a big gap between what a professional organizer could charge. I've seen it as low as $30 an hour, all the way up to a couple $100s an hour. So how do you come up with that massive gap in an hourly rate? Well, the first thing that you have to understand is the amount of experience that a professional organizer brings. A lot of people are new to the industry. They're just coming in. They don't have as much experience working with clients. They may have experience working with organizing or doing some organization, but they maybe not have as much experience working with clients. And that really is going to be the critical piece on how we price out our services in our industry. Working with clients, it is a skill, I guess, that can be taught. You can sort of be encouraged and you can have better relationship skills. However, at the end of the day, if you are a professional organizer who just doesn't have the innate skills inside to work with clients, especially going through either a traumatic event or a life transition, which is what I specialize in, if you don't have the skills to deal with family dynamics or potential possibly emotions that come up, if you're not sensitive around what the client is going through, you're not, the cost, level there is just not going to match up. So you really do have to look at how much experience does this professional organizer actually have with the things that I'm going through. So the other thing to consider is the amount of training or courses, or did they, are they educated in the industry? Are they educated in the field? Are they somebody who just started this? If they just started their business or they just came into the industry, that is wonderful and great. And everybody needs some experience and some options to learn. Do they have extra courses? Are they continuing their education? Are they progressing in the industry? Do they attend the NAPO conferences where they can further advance their skills and education? The other thing to consider is certificates. There are a couple of different places that will teach organizing specifically to different topics, either around work efficiency or home life. There's a lot of there's a lot of different things that a professional organizer can niche in, and really knowing if your professional organizer is educated in the topic that you are hiring them for is going to be super critical. So take a look at their education, take a look at their background. Did they have the education and training to support the dollar amount they're asking for per hour. Keep in mind that if they are a part of national organizations or accreditations, if they are continuing their education, if they are going forward with courses, if they have certificates, if they have other skills that they've learned along the way, that all is a cost as well. To be a part of some of the national organizations, either the OCD or NAPO, those things have a dollar amount that's associated with them that then gets rolled back into the business. And that gives them the opportunity to continue their education. So another thing to consider is the region. Where I am located is in Northern Virginia. It is a very small rural area. The amount of professional organizers in this area is very limited, which means that the demand for my services is actually higher. So there's a cost that's associated with that as well. If you go into a more populated region, and I see this on NAPO, they have what's called the Point, which is just for industry experts and members of NAPO to get onto a group chat and a group forum, and I can see if somebody has a question or if they need some advice or they needed extra help. I can see all of these people, and we're able to go on there and to list different things. I'm going to get into that in the next point, but I can see that there are a lot of professional organizers in more populated cities, obviously for New York or Chicago, or I think there's another one. I feel like I see a lot for Michigan, but I could be wrong. There's other regions that have more organizers. California is a big one. I always see organizers in California. But I can see that there are more, I won't say competition, but there's more organizers in different areas and around the country. So the cost for hiring them might be a little bit less just because they're a dime a dozen, there's so many. And again, go back to look to see who has the experience, who has the education, who has the training, who can justify the dollar amount that they are actually asking to be charged. So the last and final thought that I have on this is obviously the connections that a professional organizer brings with them. I touched on this just a second ago, but NAPO is a really great organization that allows professional organizers to connect with one another as well as affiliate partners. So if an organizer is to come in and they have NAPO behind them, they also have a whole team of organizers across the country that they can tap into, or they have a whole team of affiliate partners that they're able to connect with as well. So this really does help and aid in the organization or the decluttering or life transition or whatever the client is going through, to know that this organizer is going to bring with them not only their experience and abilities and knowledge and skills, but they're actually bringing a whole team of people that is able to support them if needed. So where this really comes into play is if you have antiques that you need to have sold or auctioned off, you need to be working with auctioneers. Does this professional organizer have an auctioneer that they work with for their clients? Is there a real estate agent that they partner with if somebody comes and wants to sell a home? Is there all the handyman services or painters or plumbers, electricians? Do they have a whole robust set of team that they can then refer the client to if they needed those services? That's really important as well. So just make sure that your professional organizer not only has the skills, not only has the training, not only has the experience, but they actually have that other component to where they are able to fill in all of the gaps if a client needs those options and services. So I hope that kind of breaks it down a little bit on how a professional organizer might price out and charge for their services. This can be applied for both an hourly rate as well as a package rate. Again, if you are a professional organizer who wants to get into this industry, or you are in this industry and you're still not sure how to charge for your services, go to my course, How to Become a Professional Organizer. I'm going to explain it really, really, really thoroughly for you there. If you have any questions at all, though, obviously you can absolutely reach out and I will do my best to try to get back to you. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Good luck. Make sure you're doing your due diligence and hiring your professional organizer, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, did you love that episode and want to